So, y'all, we talked about how Jay-Z was accused of being involved with the assault of a 13-year-old girl back in 2000 with the Diddler. Okay. And I think because of that, I'm going to run my intro.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get.
Okay. So I'm going to read his response and I'm going to break it down how I think about it. I've read this already. So, oh my God, I'm so disappointed. Okay. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Buzbee. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Statute of limitations for criminal has gone out. I think you know that. I think you know that. I also think you know it's hard to prove something criminally that happened 24 years ago. I think you know that too. So that was for the public's benefit. Let's continue. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Again, that's for the public. You know what's real about this situation. These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. Okay, so we're automatically saying that the victims aren't real. Got it. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Buzbee, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. Now, Jay-Z, baby, let me remind you, you are the same undignified, disrespectful ass nigga from the late 90s and the early 2000s. I just want to be clear. You have grown into this Basquiat version of yourself. Yes, indeed. I listen to your music, so I know there's been growth. But I also listen to your music, so I know whatever grandstanding you doing right now is not playing to me in the way that you think it's playing. And I said that. I said he's just going to say something that sounds like the smarter version of what Diddy came out and said. And then the fact that he responded personally is another thing. Like, okay, let me continue. My only heartbreak is for my family, my wife. See, that first thing about that thing about saying you have no honor or dignity, it implies that he has honor and dignity. That's what it implies. So then when you go from this is a black man, okay, he didn't say black man yet, but just the fact that you know this is a man who is now presenting himself to have honor and dignity. Next paragraph is my only heartbreak. So now I've set you up to know what type of person I want you to think I am. And now I'm about to play on that. I'm about to play on your emotions by using my family, i.e. Diddy. He's a good dad. He's a great dad. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. Let's be very clear, Jay-Z, you've done worse shit. I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah, the 13-year-old girl thing, fine. But a lot of them other girls were young. Aaliyah was young. Foxy was young. Beyonce was young. And you was still an old nigga. It's something about that the girl 19 and the man is 27 trifecta. I don't know. It's something, not a trifecta, but that situation with that age differentiation, something about that. I think you really get them girls locked in when they 19 and you 27 or 28. Either way, I feel like when I say you don't work shit, I mean when we were growing up and we were young, the shit that Jay-Z and them were rapping about was definitely being given to teenagers. Like you were young, committing crimes and felonies and shit, having sex. You were a grown man having sex with young girls. So like, yeah, now you have your own kids. It changes your perspective. I'm sure of it. But at the same time, it does lend to you not being honest in the way you're writing this. Because if we being fucking real, you know that you've already probably had to talk to your daughter about cheating scandals. You've had to talk to your daughter about being a drug dealer. Maybe you've had to talk to your daughter about shooting somebody, stabbing somebody. Like there are other things you've done that will require a conversation where you're not going to come out smelling like a rose. So to then put that in this, it is simply a ploy to gain sympathy. But he does it in a much more intelligent way, if you will. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. That line really got me. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. I would love for Wayne and for Jigga to realize they are no longer young. Yes, you are forever young in spirit, but nigga, by age, y'all is 40, 50 years old. There's no more young in that. Okay? Not the way y'all trying to make it seem. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes in honor. Do we? We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Do you protect children, Jay-Z? Did you protect Cassie? Because Cassie was 19 years old, and I'm more than sure you knew that Diddy was abusive. Did you ever step in and protect anybody? I don't know. That would be an interesting story to hear. But I find it hard to believe just based off of the way hip hop rolls in general. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake psychics. I think he meant psychics. I think that says physics. Will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. If not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. Yeah. I think that's real cute to say now. Then it seems as if Mama Tina Knowles accidentally or on purpose liked the post saying that Sean Jay-Z Carter and Sean Diddy Combs are accused of arming a 13-year-old girl at an after party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. Miss Tina came out and said, child, if it was me and it's uncharacteristic of me, it was a hack. That's what it was. It was a hack. And now they're questioning if the NFL should separate themselves from Jay-Z. And I think that's so funny. Like, I think that's so funny. You know why? Because I think there are other CEOs, other men involved in the NFL, whether they are owners of teams or involved in, CEOs or just the businessmen involved in the paper and the moving and the decision making. Those people probably have civil suits all the time. And I think that to take this approach so early on is kind of low key putting the cart before the horse a little bit. And also I think it's kind of bullshitty. Like it's kind of like really Jay-Z's the only one a part of the NFL network in some way or another that has a civil suit against him. I fucking doubt it. So that whole thing was just like, y'all really want to get that man out that position, huh? Real mad about this Super Bowl shit. Okay. Tina said, I don't play about my family. I was hacked. As you all know, I do not play about my family. So if you see something uncharacteristic of me, just know that it's not me. How you got your page back so quick? I think why she couldn't just say I liked it by accident? Because sometimes that might happen. Jay-Z's lawyer asked judge to speed up the process of the lawsuit against him. Due to the highly sensitive nature of this matter and the intense media scrutiny it has generated, we respectfully request to be heard on an expedited basis. So now they're trying to rush it because this actually probably could affect his standing with the NFL. And I believe that's extremely like money wise. Yeah, I think that's a big deal for him, right? So he was at the red carpet, of course, being a family man. Okay. Just like when the shit came out about Diddy and his ass was in Japan with Beyonce, all orchestrated, very intentional, very mindful, very demure. Okay. Let me see. Jay-Z's lawyer alleges an anonymous woman has come forward and alleged that Tony Buzbee's law firm dropped her as a client for refusing to fabricate claims about being drugged and assaulted. I saw one like this. I saw there was another story that was put out about Tony Buzbee before before Jay-Z came out, and it was related to Diddy. Somebody was accusing him of something. And I'm like, he's a lawyer. Like, nobody trusts fucking lawyers. Attorney Tony Buzbee is facing a federal lawsuit from a former client who accuses him of using loan shark tactics in personal injury case. Matthew Ray Thompson Jr., the plaintiff, claims that after Buzbee filed the lawsuit on his behalf, payments intended for him were sent directly to Buzbee's firm. Instead of receiving the full amount, Thompson alleges Buzbee withheld more than 60% and charged him high interest rates on funds he loaned him. Thompson also argues in a complaint that Buzbee's practice of taking large cuts is not an isolated incident, pointing to similar accusations recently made by Jay-Z. The rap star accused Buzbee of using threats and public pressure to enrich himself at the expense of his clients. However, I still feel like that's kind of low-key a normal occurrence. He's probably fucking over his clients, but going to Jay-Z with the if you don't want this story to come out, pay the settlement is normal practice. So them acting like that's a smoking gun is wild to me. Like, that's usually how that shit goes. In addition to bringing forth a suit against Jay-Z, Buzbee is representing several individuals suing Sean Diddy Combs over abuse. Man, you better hope they got the fucking evidence, because I mean, honestly, there were enough people with actual facts, Cassie and all of them. And I say all of them because I'm talking about Dawn, I'm talking about Rodney, that actually had evidence that got him arrested by the FBI. That shit I feel like is 100%. When it comes to these civil cases, that's what you might have to worry about. But people are conflating the two. There are a lot of people that feel like because Tony Buzbee is, sketchy lawyer, that he's not going to be able to fight this case, and none of those people are going to be able to get anything from Diddy. I don't think they're going to be able to get anything from Diddy anyway, because most of Diddy's money is about to be tied up on this other shit. He got kids, he got expenses, he got shit that he already got to pay for while still in jail, and he got them fucking lawyers' fees. Cassie, however much money he had to give her, whatever might happen with Rodney and Dawn. So at the end of the day, I feel like when the FBI went and picked that nigga up and put him in jail and say he not getting out, that means we have evidence on him to charge him with the RICO charge. All of that other shit is separate. All of that other shit is separate. So I need for y'all to understand, just because Tony Buzbee may be faulty and the people he may be presenting may be faulty, it doesn't mean that Diddy isn't guilty of what he's accused of by the FBI. I just want to be very clear, because a lot of y'all are misunderstanding that part. Okay. Okay. So now that we talked about the Jay-Z portion, and I'm just gonna say, y'all, Jay-Z wants woman accusing him of art in lawsuit to reveal her identity. Same thing that Diddy did. He's literally doing some of the same things that Diddy did. And I can't necessarily say that 100% makes him look guilty to me. But I do think that Jay-Z has done things that will probably come back to haunt him in one way or another. And you can change your life and be different, but sometimes the scars you leave are the scars you leave. The damage that you've done, whether you progress beyond it, is still, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can still be that. But anyway, if Buzbee had video evidence of Jay raping someone, and then of course he would have settled. Also, why settle if you're innocent and a billionaire? But also, Diddy wasn't innocent. He's a billionaire and he didn't settle either. Because he thought that nothing was gonna come out. So what I'm saying is his guilt, none of this means he's guilty or innocent. But I will say that for me, it is definitely a red flag the way he is handling the situation. And we'll just see how it all plays out. We'll see how it all plays out. I think Buzbee said that people have been following him and shit like that. Like, I definitely think that they're probably threatening him and things of that nature. Like, Jay-Z ain't no fucking punk. And when I say that, I mean I when I tell you I listen to his music, I listen to the way he thinks. And I think not only is he smart and sharp and patient about the way he'll handle things sometimes, but that makes him even more nefarious to me. I think there's a switch. I think there is a light, cool side to him, and I think there's an asshole, fucked up version of him. The shit I heard about that he did to Maya, the things that he, did with Eve, like, it shows that there is one side of him that is not as secure as he presents himself to be. And because of that, I can't 100% say that I don't believe these allegations against him. I just can't, because I remember what he was like back in the day. And Jigga was a fucking asshole. So yeah, you Basquiat and you got Beyonce and beautiful babies and billions of dollars now. We supposed to forget all of the years of you wearing, tall tees and talking about smacking bitches and actually doing it on camera? But we'll see. But this is one of the people that is suing Diddy. And I remember listening to this story because this was about another employee. And this is where I feel like Diddy is really gonna get fucked up. It may not be on all of these random people and shit, but it's something about him and the employees doing shit to the employees around. Because Christian has a similar situation with an employee
to work security at one of the infamous white parties that was thrown by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that?
He basically, I feel like, tried to ruin Maya's career because she didn't want to be with him. Go look up Maya speaking on Jay-Z. I think it's on Vlad.
Experience like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
So you had a friendly chat, and then, according to your lawsuit, at some point later in the night, Sean Combs himself offered you a drink. This didn't come from staff or someone holding a tray of drinks. It came from him directly.
Correct. The first drink started to have some effect on me. And I just thought, wow, these are really strong drinks. It wasn't until the second drink and it was already too late.
Okay. We ain't got to go through all of this, but I'll basically just finish it because I want to respond to this comment before it floats away. Eve did speak positively. She told people to stop reaching. If that's what she said, she's full of shit. To be clear, I read Eve's book. Eve said that when her album was about to come out, Jay-Z called her and told her it's good, but don't get too excited because female rap albums don't usually do that good. So don't get too excited. It was along the lines of something he did to somebody else. But he like back in the day, he would just randomly call people, and I feel like fuck with their confidence, fuck with their head. Like that with that. And then with Maya, I think it was a situation with a song with the y'all know the Best of Me song. It was something with that shit. But he absolutely, it seems as if she was saying because she did not want to fuck him, he tried to ruin her career, which is why she eventually ended up going independent. Yes. And I'm sorry, but the best of me is the one with Beanie Siegel. Right? That was Beanie Siegel, right? I don't want to get the best of you. Ha. No, it wasn't. That wasn't anything. No, Jadakiss. It was Jadakiss. I can't let it go on. Can't let you get. Oh no. He has a little game that he plays. Clever little ways and a high boy style. Right? Brags about the dough that he makes. Flash a little cash, most girls wow out. Lately he's been checking for me. telling me how much he wants to be the one to replace the man that waits at home for me. But oh no, I can't let you get the best of me, even though deep inside, that was the shit. Oh my God. That was my shit. I'm going to do this just like Tony did it to Frank, but I'm going to make sure both of y'all win. Let them keep the place. You move and I'm going to pay both of y'all rent. So forget about the condo and come to the crib, because the castle over the mountain come with a bridge. You know, literally, we can go shopping in Italy. Hand on the thigh. She ain't want to get rid of me. And she don't drink or know how L looks. Chanel mixed with the Peter Arnell look. You just stay, I rented the city when I whip the V. You can hold a joint if you with me. Vacation costs $150. I'm living it up. I put it on your ass if you giving it up. And you know I'm not a hater. And if you feel bad, then you call them on later and tell them you all jaders. That was my shit. Okay. My and Eve's interpretation of that was him telling her, don't get down on herself if the numbers don't. Yeah, no, I don't think that's what she was saying, because she said it pissed her off. It fueled her. She remembered him calling her, and that's why a lot of the things she did was almost to prove him wrong. I don't think initially that's how she felt. I think that's a cute way to sum it up now. But I think back then she felt like he was trying to fuck with her. I do. I feel like he was trying. She's not the only person to say that Jay-Z had called them on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what you're saying. But if you was actually like listening to the part where she was saying how she did a lot of what she did to prove him wrong, like, you know, when that sophomore album come up and everybody was acting like she wasn't gonna, you know, be able to top her first album, but then she got her Grammy off the second album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think now you can look at it and be like, oh, he was telling her to manage her expectations. Yeah, sure. But at the time, I feel like she said it made her mad and it gave her fuel to prove him wrong. And of course, over time, their relationship changes. But I have to think about, why the fuck did he think he needed to tell her to manage her expectations? Can y'all tell me that? She didn't know him and he didn't know her. He called her out the blue to tell her that. The fuck? And she still went number one, if I recall. So to me, he was being an asshole. And it just so turned out that eventually they had a good relationship. But he was being an asshole. Why the fuck you calling me, telling me how to manage my expectations? I don't need to manage my expectations, nigga. This album gonna do what it's gonna do, and I'm gonna have whatever high hopes I have, regardless to what the fuck you talking about. Okay. And MIA said that Jay-Z told her to get plastic surgery. I believe her. I believe her. What type of nigga says that shit to a woman? I'm not saying that. Who said being a jerk equals to being an artist? Nobody said that. Nobody said that. But it also doesn't make me view you as somebody with the integrity you claim to have, as he said in his statement, the way he was trying to present himself. Those things don't go together. But, you know, we'll pontificate on this further as time goes on.